We've heard some amazing points this evening, and it's quite funny because as I was given this lovely journal for free, brilliant, thank you, I couldn't help but notice the second line which says race and Commonwealth. And I don't know if you can kind of guess, I don't look like anybody else on the side here. And that's what I was pretty much looking to hear more about. And I've got a load of statistics and stats, but I don't want to give that. Because when we think about Commonwealth, what do we actually think? Depending on the generation of people that actually think about the Commonwealth, what do we think? I went around and asked about the Commonwealth to a few students in, let's say, urban areas, and all they could think about was athletics. They've known about people like Jay Johnson, who went to Chestnut Grove and Balham, who had the opportunity, who lived in a rough area, to make something of herself, and the Commonwealth Games gave her the platform to become a star. Now, obviously, we know about the terrible history with the Commonwealth and the British Empire, but that's the history of it. There was a lovely lady named Geraldine Atherley, who in the 1900s was a descendant from slavery. She worked very, very hard to support her family. And despite in the face of adversity, she never brought up the issue of race in Barbados. One of her children managed to make it to the UK for a better life. In the early 60s, she suffered a lot of racism and colorism, where she would go to a school where you had colored-only toilets, white-only toilets. Just like her mother, Geraldine, Barbara, in the face of adversity, kept pushing forward. When she grew up in the 70s, she would hear statements like, "Nigger mind, go black home, it will be all white in the morning." Going to areas in South London like Bermondsey, where it was predominantly heavily driven in white areas, being a black woman, it was seen as dangerous. But again, she pushed on knowing that she was safe because she believed in a better future. She never looked back, and she listened to stories of how her mother in Barbados, Geraldine, pushed forward through times of adversity. She had amazing children, beautiful children, and through the statistics that she was living in, growing up in a poor area, she raised her children to understand the history that she had, history before her, and so forth. One of her children decided to take forward that information and be appreciative of himself, and also be appreciative of the fact of the matter that there are others who are in the same situation as him, but do not have these teachings, do not have the education that he had, that his mother passed down. Now, one of her sons managed to go to university at a younger age than the average norm child in Britain. At the age of 15, he went to LSE University to study finance and business. He then traveled around the world and met up with other professors to talk about slavery and also to talk about the British Empire and how it's changed from the early 1900s of when his grandmother was around to now, or to that time when he was speaking. The professors around the world couldn't believe the fact of the matter that he was actually there at such a young age talking about social issues, state in society, and about coloniality. Now, that child, in the face of adversity, when he suffered some racism growing up, never thought about Britain being a horrible place, looking at the history of the Commonwealth. He pushed forward because he knew that he was in a better situation where he doesn't have to face colored-only toilets, white-only toilets, because Britain has moved forward. Britain is not facing the atrocity of the past, of the dehumanization of people from the Caribbean. That gentleman is standing right here in front of you right now. So the reason why I oppose that is because I'm living proof, I am the testimony that Britain can move forward. Yeah, we know about the history, but we are in a better place. There's a lot of tweaks that need to be done, but we are living in a better place. So I oppose the motion that Britain and the Commonwealth do not prohibit society moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Darrel.